video to show you how to use NoodleTools. NoodleTools is a website that'll help you create a citation of an MLA citation for a piece of research, a website, a book, a magazine, a text that you use to support your opinion. Okay, so first, I'm starting off here on Canvas, which is the website MCPS Classroom that we use daily. First, what you might want to do is find the article that you want to use for your research. For example, for today, I'm using an article that a student actually turned in with the summative assessment that I thought was very interesting. It's about a young man named Tyler Blevins. You might know him better as Ninja. This was an article that a student used for the summative assessment for the 4 types of questions, and it's an article you're more than likely going to see because I thought it was really interesting, and it's one we can use for a lot of different things during class. Nevertheless, the way to create a citation, an official notation that we use this as a piece of research for an argument, is to follow the steps here. First, what I'm going to ask you to do is go back to Canvas. Then on every single, when you log in under your school account, all of you should have a bookmark pre-created called MCPS Resources. And I'm going to ask you to click on MCPS Resources. And I'm going to ask you to go to MCPS Online Resources. It's first on mine. It should be near the top on yours as well. So I'm clicking on MCPS Online Resources. That can be found under MCPS Resources. Again, it's right here on the drop-down menu. Once you're here, you're going to scroll down under the kids or whichever picture you have, and you'll see a blue bar. And the blue bar says elementary school, middle school, high school, or general resources. I'm going to ask you to click on middle school because that's the grade level or the grade levels that you're in. Then I'm going to ask you to go down and look for the application. These are different websites or shortcuts to websites that the county pays for and allows you to use to do work and to research. As you scroll down, you'll see one called NoodleTools, Noodle. You may remember Sora from back in the fall that we're going to get back to here in the 4th quarter as well, but the 4th marking period. But for today, we're using NoodleTools. I want you to click on that. Mr. Green, I don't have that search bar. I don't have that. I can't find that MCPS Online Resources. All you have to do is create your own tab if you don't have MCPS Resources and type in NoodleTools. And then click on noodletools.com, and it's going to take you to the exact same website that I'm on now. It's just going to ask you to log in, and then my information is already saved here from the county. So it may ask you to save your profile. It may say Francis Scott Key Middle School. It may ask you to select your county, which is MCPS, and then Francis Scott Key Middle School. Either way, you should end up on this page, whether you use the drop-down tool or whether you just type in noodletools.com. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I have my article here that I'm going to use, and then I have my NoodleTools open. And you'll see a toolbar, projects, dashboards, sources, note cards, paper. For now, we're going to go to sources in the top toolbar and click on that because we're looking for, okay, so first we have to do projects. And we're going to click on new project over here. Underneath the word NoodleTools, we're going to go straight down and see a green rectangle entitled new project with a plus sign. I want you to click on that. Then I want you to come to the pop-up menu that appears and give this project a title. So for today we're just practicing. The article's about this guy very popularly known as Ninja. So I'm going to call this period 1 Ninja Practice Citation. Okay? Give it a title that makes sense. Then I'm going to ask you to make sure the citation style is set to MLA. And then I'm going to ask you for the citation level. I'm going to ask you to set that to junior. That's for middle school and 9th grade. Okay? And then you're going to click Submit in the bottom right corner of the drop-down menu. Okay. Then, after you have the project, you're going to go to Sources. And you're going to click New Source. Then you're going to say, okay, where did this come from? So this is funny because this is from a New York Times magazine. However, it is a website, so we're going to be using it as a website because it's not literally a reproduction of the magazine. So what that means is we're going to click on website. If it was literally a reproduction of the magazine with page numbers and such, then we would click on magazine. However, this time it's a web version of it. So we're going to click on web page. So once we're here, we're going to go back to the article. We're going to copy the URL. And we're going to go and paste the URL here. The date of the publication, we're going to go back to the article again, is January 24th, 2021. So I'm going to put in January 24th, 2021. And the most recent date of access, the day you read the article, I'm just going to say today because it's the day I graded the assignment and found it. Contributor. So you'll see when you click on the pull down menu, it says author, editor, translator. So the author, I'm going to go back to the article one more time, is somebody named David Marchese. I'm going to copy that name and I'm going to go ahead and enter it. Now you see I copied both the first and last name, so for the last name I'm going to delete the first name. And when I go to the first name portion, I'm going to delete the last name. It's very important. Okay? They don't have a spot for a photographer or an other, so I'm going to leave it alone for now because next to the writer's name, they have the illustrator or the photographer, Braulio Amato, but they don't have a place for him here, so we're going to leave it blank. Okay? Web page or document article title. That's going to be the title, Teenagers Made Ninja a Gaming Superstar. He has a message for parents. I'm going to copy that. It's a lot of copy and pasting. Just take your time when you're doing this. And then we're going to go down to the next part. Name of the website. This website is called the New York Times Magazine. I cannot copy and paste that because it's a hyperlink, so I'm going to have to type it in. The New York Times Magazine. All of the first letters in each word need to be capitalized. Publisher of the site. Oftentimes when it comes to a publication like this on the internet, you can go to the bottom and see who the publisher is. I don't know if that's the case for this article. Let's look here and see if there's a publisher or a company that takes credit for publication. I don't, maybe New York Times Company? It tells you about it, but they're not claiming to be a publisher. So for now, I'm going to leave that blank because I couldn't quickly find a publisher. And down here is the annotation where you might add notes if you wanted to. Okay, if I was going to add an annotation for this one after reading the article, I would just very quickly say, the article, I'm just going to say, the article is about Tyler Blevins, also known as Ninja. It is an interview about his career, salary, and beliefs. You can add any note that you think is important here, any note that will help you remember what's in the article, okay? And then when you're done, you're going to make sure that this is checked here at the bottom. Include this source in my final works cited page, because what this website is going to do is NoodleTools is going to help you create a website, a works cited page, which is very important when you're in English class and in reading class. And you'll see print export here in the middle now. You'll see your entry, and you can click on it and go back. You have options to the right. You can edit, you can copy, you can delete. It allows for you to put in-text citation if your English teachers are asking for that. And if you have a question, it can do a little help. I'm going to go back up to this top menu bar here in the white rectangle and go to print and export so you can see what you're going to be turning in. When I ask you to turn this in class, or when your teacher asks you to make the works cited page, you're going to click print export. You're going to come down 2, 3 to the fourth part where it says print or export to Google Docs. You're going to click on that, and it's going to create a Google Doc with your works cited page. All right, and it's going to do this proper hanging indentation, which is sort of tricky. If you do this manually on your own, I do have a separate video about how to do the hanging indentation in Google Docs, but it's not terribly, it's not super easy. The only thing you see here is that if this is an actual works cited page, you don't want the annotation. So I'm going to delete that. Actually, I'm not even going to delete that there. I'm just going to delete this whole document. I'm going to go back and edit because I don't want that annotation to show up on my final works cited page. That's for like a rough works cited page that you might turn in so your professor knows or your teacher knows what you're doing. So I deleted the annotation. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to export it as a Google document again. And this time the annotation should be gone. And there you go. I just have the works cited entry. My teacher knows where I found my information, and my professor or teacher knows I'm not just making things up because I actually have research behind my argument. Okay? It's a tedious process. It's a lot of small steps, but it's very straightforward. It's a lot of copying and pasting. Okay? When you go back to your projects, you'll see this one. It will stay there for as long as you use NoodleTools, and you will always have access to it. All right, email me if you have any questions. Let me know during class or during a check-in or a focused student intervention, and I will help you out, guys. But this is how you use NoodleTools to create a citation. Have a great day.